Real Madrid have just beaten Valladolid by 3-0. Goals from Endrick, Brahim, and the man. How was that performance like, especially from a weak first half to a transitioning second half? What does that feel like?
Yeah, I think like you were looking last week at the game last week, we kind of struggled. There's a lot of moving around with players going out the left-hand side. Kind of, Ancelotti said after that match, he said kind of he was struggling to find the balance in the team with Cruz gone. So I thought today, we struggled in the first step with the same problem. There are kind of a lot of players going over to the left again. You had Rodrigo over there, you had Mbappe over there, you had Guler was going over that side, Vinicius was over there. So there's 4 or 5 players just lining up. So in the second half, obviously Carlo Ancelotti raised the eyebrow at half time. Raised the eyebrow, and he kind of solved the problem in the second half. And once he kind of made 1 or 2 subs, when Diaz came on, Diaz was able to play in the 10. And he kind of able to dictate the game a bit better. And, it was definitely, second half was much, much better. Hopefully more of the same of that now.
Oh, definitely. That's what we expect also. Like the first half was very unlike Real Madrid. Second half, they were more like Real Madrid. That's what we say. But talking about, as you mentioned, Brahim came in, Modric came in. A player like Brahim Diaz, he scored 10 plus goals last season coming on the bench. This season also, he's just showing what he did last season. Do you think he's just knocking on Carlo Ancelotti's door and saying, I need to start if I am that good consistently?
Yeah, definitely. And like you look at that front three now, we have Mbappe and there's Vinicius on the left. They're going to play no matter what. Yeah. So Rodrigo has to kind of watch his back on the right-hand side there because Diaz is there, Endrick is there, especially Diaz, like, as you said, he's been knocking on the door now for a long, long time, so maybe it's just time to shine, and like, if Rodrigo doesn't score the goals, then someone else has to get a chance.
Oh man, definitely. And just talking about if Rodrigo doesn't score a goal, one player who definitely we expected Mbappe to score in his first game at the Bernabeu, one player who did score in his first game at the Bernabeu, Endrick, a great finish on the near post, turns it in, scores, and a very relieved. How was that moment like when the ball was in the back of the net?
Yeah, it was great because we're kind of, obviously we had the Valverde goal was good, but it was a bit of a deflected shot, and you're kind of saying, geez, I hope it's not just 1-0 here, like we came all the way from Ireland to see this match. But
they didn't disappoint.
No, they didn't disappoint. We got the nice chipped goal from Diaz, and then the Endrick goal was a great goal, and obviously we've known about this guy for 2 or 3 years playing for Palmeiras, and this deal has been done for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So we're finally getting to see this guy at the Bernabeu, and see him do the business on the second match day. Sure, it's great,
Definitely. And what kind of potential does he have in him?
I think the hype around him is crazy, like all the Pele references and stuff like that.
He talks the right words also.
Yeah, I mean,
especially the Bobby Charlton thing was that something that caught me off guard.
Yeah, you're starting to wonder, is Endrick a time traveller or what's going on here?
Second life or something.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of hype around him, but he just has to he's doing a lot of interviews and stuff, but he just has to keep his head down and just play his football. Like, he's still very, very young. Yes, he's got a huge future ahead of him, but he just needs to keep his head down. He hasn't achieved anything yet, let's just say. So he just needs to just keep his head down and score the goals and keep doing what he did today. And he won't be maybe next Bobby Charlton then,
next Bobby Charlton in the making. But talking about Fede Valverde, who scored the first goal, deflected effort, but according to me, he was one of those players with Militao who was very consistently playing from the first half to the second half on a good level.
Yeah.
And Fede Valverde is now playing in a double pivot with Tchouaméni, something which is out of his position. Is more like a number 8 or on the right wing. People usually don't rate players, of that sort very high. People are going to talk about Mbappe, Vini, but people like Fede, players like Fede, make the ugly, they do the ugly job. And how is that, if you see it from the stands?
100%. Like, this is our first time I've seen Valverde play, but I was saying to Dad, like, we so much. He did so much work coming back the way in terms of like getting these dodgy tackles in, stuff that the crowd isn't going to clap for him. But it was so important in kind of mopping up the back line. And now as well, with Cruz gone, you have Tchouaméni and Valverde there. So who's going to go further forward and who's going to stay back and dictate the game like Cruz used to do? So in that double pivot, it's kind of, you have to decide now who's going to be the more attacking player, who's going to be more defensive. So
somebody has to take a step back. Yeah. Before you go, Sean, who was your man of the match and why?
Man of the match? I just have to bring Brahim Diaz for coming off the bench, and he was fantastic when he came on, and he had a part to play in the third goal as well. So, Brahim Diaz.
Oh man, perfect. Thank you so much for talking to us. Before you go, you're wearing a Real Madrid third kit this season. You know what the golden words are. So I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Ala Madrid.
Ala Madrid. Thank you so much.